Peggy 3. All around the world, farmers know farming is an art. Like life, we know it can be hard. And it can be surprising, too. But sometimes it's about being at the right place at the right time. A wise man once said that the best lessons are learned under the wide open sky. I think the same thing can be said about our art. Yeah, it can be messy, but it's always beautiful. So beautiful it can help you see yourself and the world in all new ways. In the art of farming, the soil is the canvas, the seeds are the paint, and the harvest is the masterpiece.
Hey, this is pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty darn good. Is it missing something? You're too cute to eat. Maybe some fresh spinach for a change?
Hey everybody, Scroft here, super excited because Farming Simulator 25 has been announced officially and the cinematic trailer's dropped. Now I know it was pretty much not the very best kept secret that Farming Simulator 25 is coming out. I know there was a lot of speculation, few rumours kind of flown around the place. We're trying to keep away from them, but finally Giants have announced it. Super excited for what we've seen. I put the cinematic trailer at the start, so you've seen it as well. You've probably seen it as well on the premiere that Giants did. And there's a lot of stuff to go into, but I thought in this video, I'm going to do two of them, but this first video, we're going to play the trailer, but we're going to kind of break it down on what we see. See if we can see anything, that's not as obvious first time around, but maybe we can see it second time around. So let's press play. I'm just watching it on my computer, so it shouldn't be too difficult. First thing I'm going to say is if only that was the game graphics. Look at the detail of that. Now, I am hoping for, obviously, an improvement of graphics and stuff like that. The next video I'm going to do, which is going to be just after this video, so you can probably watch it now anyway, that's going to go into the blog and all the details. So we're definitely going to get some improved graphics in the Giants Engine 10 as well. But the back, father and daughter are back, and you can see they're cooking some rice. So that's the focus. We're off to Asia. 3 maps on the base game now, and you can see from the detail on this, that is what it's going to look like. Now, like I said, we've got 3 maps. We've got one in America, one in Central Europe, and one in Asia. And that's going to be the one where kind of it introduces this new crop type, which is going to be 2 types of rice that we can grow within the game. So you've got rice paddies, some new equipment for that. I'm actually excited about that. I don't know if everyone's going to be, on the same wavelength as me, but it's something different. And I've always wanted something different within Farming Simulator. And I'm just actually really hopeful about the map in Asia, because I think it's going to be like really hilly from what we've seen, a lot of detail to it. And you can see that, the 2 characters that we were introduced on Farming Simulator 22, father and daughter, they are off. They are off on the jollies. They're in, they're in Asia to learn about rice. So let's carry on. We'll have a bit more detail here.
And it can be surprising, too.
Trying to see anything that stands out to me. So that's the first thing then, which is buffalo. new confirmed animal to the game. So we got all the normal ones. Still hoping for some more information on animals. It does need an improvement overall. So my fingers are crossed there. That's what I'm definitely hoping for. Maybe FarmCon is where we hear a bit more about the actual mechanics to the animal system. But at least we've got a new animal, buffalo. And obviously it's probably going to be made for the Asia style map. But we can have it on any map we want. I can see them roaming on an Oxy map in the future in the Cotswolds. Who knows?
But sometimes it's about being at the right
So
place
now you'll get to see,
at the right time.
yeah, the rice paddies. Now that is a stunning view. Now I know it's not going to look like that in game, but I'm hoping that some of this was taken from the map style, and you can see that it's quite hilly, quite mountainous, and you can see these machines that are out in these rice paddies and these rice fields, these paddies where they're planting this. That's definitely a rice planter. Don't know if that's the right word for it, but it looks like a planter that's obviously putting in these rice kind of crops that are very small, and the buffalo are obviously in there as well. You've got someone over there in this section here. I don't know if they're picking or just checking, or I don't know. I don't know how it's going to work. It's like I said, it's completely new mechanics. We don't get loads of information on it, but I would say first impressions is it's interesting. I'm looking forward to trying this out. I'm hoping it's not as short-lived as it was for me with the grapes in FS22. I never kind of fell in love with that system, the grapes and the olives. It was really good to add that in. You know, I'm hoping it doesn't kind of fall off like that. I don't think it will, because I think the vines are just quite difficult at times. And, you know, it was just not as kind of traditional farming as I know it. But I still like doing it at the start. It just wasn't something that I kept wanting to go back to. So I'm more hopeful for this. I think it's, a better crop to add in. And I know we're going to get some other crops as well. But yeah, really nice setting. Let's carry on. And you can see what it's doing there. So if we just stop on that machine, have a look at it, see if we can break down the details of it. So it's obviously holding these kind of like trays, and that's going down the back side of it, and it's planting as it's going. It's very small. Obviously, you don't want it to be too big because it's sitting in water. It's like I've never seen these. I'm going to have to do a bit of research on them before it drops the game, because yeah, it is something completely new. It's almost like a bit of a buggy. It's definitely a unique piece of equipment that you can see that's been tailored directly for the rice plantation. I'm trying to look what these are. They almost look like drones on the side. But yeah, that's something new. So I'm going to look at them a bit more, find a bit of research. So there's always something on YouTube. Now, I don't know. I've always predicted this. In the past, let's just go back to that. In the past, I've always wanted to have some form of phone in the game. You know, maybe like you can use it to check, all the information. Now, I looked at this and thought, is it? But it's probably not. It's probably just for the cinematics of this, obviously, cinematic trailer, kind of introduction trailer to the game. But you never know. You never know. I think we got something last year in the FS22 version that made me think the same. But yeah, I don't think it is. I think I'm looking a bit too much into that. But it would be nice to have something like, because you never know, you could use the phone to maybe open up the map or a PDA or some kind of equipment, or, there's endless possibilities with that. But I think I am looking at it a bit too far. Now, the weather. This is something I want to point out, because so it does state in the blog, which, like I said, in the next video we'll go well into, so make sure you watch that straight after this, about some form of dynamic weather. Now, don't think it's as dynamic as we would obviously cross our fingers and hope for, but it definitely will be at least visual. So I like this introduction to weather here, because it might be a little bit of a hint to that. Yeah, you can see that they've brought it back to America now. And they're obviously growing their own rice, making their own rice paddies, so they're pumping in some kind of like clean water, natural clean water for them. Because even in the distance there, what a shot that is. They've got rice paddies, but that looks like an American farm to me, American sour. So this is saying that, they've gone over there, they've picked up the information they've needed to kind of grow it themselves, and then they've brought it back to the US, which is great, because it means that you're not stuck in a certain climate to grow rice. You can grow it. Now, it's going to be very rare that you're going to get rice paddies in the UK or something like that from where I'm from, but definitely in America, maybe you could, they've got good weather there, aren't they? Interesting how you can place these down, because it's, like now, in game now, you're just planting the crop you want. You can obviously plow the fields, create your own field boundaries. How do you think we're going to be doing this? Is it going to be something like, the vines that we get that we place down first? Maybe you can place down a square kind of plot for a rice paddy. Now, maybe it is these walls here, these boundaries. Maybe you can place them down like a fence, pick the size, in that way, customize it, and then, there'll be something where you can fill kind of in between that section with the water and then start planting in after that. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see that firsthand. FarmCon maybe. So John Deere's still there. Some will be happy, some don't. George won't know, not a massive fan of the John Deere. So this I'm going to stop because of the fact that these birds... Now, I know one of the requests that I saw quite a lot, actually, was to see birds flocking behind equipment as you're through the fields. So maybe you're ploughing, you see a load of seagulls dropping down, kind of picking up the worms and stuff like that. Maybe that is a point towards it. Who knows? But I'd hope that that's the case, that maybe that's what it's pointing to, because we do see some birds floating about, and especially on the picture at the start. But there we go, Farming Simulator 25 with the green that it was predicted from the teaser that they dropped out. And you can see now that the bit of a clip for rice. Great graphics.
Hey, this is pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty darn good. Is it missing something?
Chicken's not happy now. But then again, that's what it's about, isn't it? Farming, who knows? Maybe if he can bring in some productions for that as well. I know they're keeping it to the, an age rating there of 3, so maybe not. But there we go. We've got rice paddies. There's a focus on this Asian map that they're introducing, as well as the American one and the Central European one. And it's out November 12th. Farming Simulator 25, you can pre-order it now. It's out November 12th. But a big thing to point out is if you look at the platforms, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, PC, and Mac. So they have dropped PS4 and dropped the Xbox equivalent to PS4. So the old generation console has been dropped, which is great, really, for current generation players and for PC players alike, because it means the base game is going to have a bigger spec system and it can be pushed further. Hopefully they've adapted that into the Giants Engine 10 as well, so that should be good. Should be a good thing. It was, for me, it was well overdue. Problem with having that old console on it, it means that it just kind of brings the top end down. So even it hurts PC players, and it'll hurt current generation PS5 players and Xbox Series X players as well. So yeah, I like the fact they've done that. That's a big plus for me. But I can't wait. I'm super excited. I am heading to FarmCon as well, so if I get more information, I'll keep pumping out the content for this. But Farming Simulator 25 has finally been announced, like we all predicted, November 12th. Pre-order now. I'll put a link in the video description to go straight to Giants' blog and also to their website where you can start pre-ordering. If you are thinking of pre-ordering, please use my affiliation code. I'd really appreciate that. I'm pushing to get to silver. All it means for me if I get to silver is, I can keep getting early stuff for you, early access, so I can keep making videos and we can kind of go over all the content coming out. And there's going to be a lot because we're going to look at the Season 1 pass in a second, and we're also going to look at the Collector's Edition. So I definitely recommend tuning into the next video. It'll be on my channel right now, straight after this one. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Farming Simulator 25 is out in November. Super hyped for it. And yeah, I think it looks interesting. I'm hopeful that we'll start getting a bit more information about, animals and all that kind of stuff, and better graphics, more details to the game, more hands-on. I think that the dynamics of the game need to improve. It can't just be a map in Asia with rice. That's my opinion. So fingers crossed we'll get that kind of information. But thank you for watching. Really do appreciate it. If you've enjoyed this, if you're super hyped for FS25, hit that like button on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. There'll be plenty more content coming out about it. And if you are thinking of pre-ordering the game, don't forget to use my affiliation link as you do that. Really appreciate that. Right, thanks everybody, and I'll see you in the next one.